What if her silence meant more than you thought? You send her a text, something thoughtful, maybe a joke or a plan for the weekend. The message shows read, but hours pass, then days, and nothing. No reply, no emoji, just silence. You're left spiraling. Is she mad? Bored, ghosting you? But what if her silence isn't just a brush-off? What if it's a signal, a riddle, a window into her mind that says more than words ever could? What if her lack of response is screaming something you're not hearing? Let's dive into this nerve-wracking thought experiment with the curiosity of a code breaker tackling an enigma and the skepticism of a scientist who just found silence listed as a particle in a love equation. Picture this. You're vibing with her, or so you thought. Your chats were flowing, maybe even flirty, until you sent that last message. It's marked read, but the screen stays blank. You check your phone like it's a pulse monitor, wondering if you said something wrong. She's active on X, posting memes, but your chat's a ghost town. You assume she's done with you, but what if her silence is more than disinterest? What if it's a test, a fear, or even a pull for you to step up? What if her quiet is louder than any reply she could have typed? Here's the wild hypothesis. Her silence is a cosmic Morse code, a glitch in the universe's communication network that carries hidden meaning. It's not just her ignoring you. It's a message in itself, loaded with intent, emotion, or strategy. The universe, like a cryptic poet, has wired attraction to thrive in pauses, where silence speaks what words can't. Her lack of reply could be a challenge, a shield, or a cry for you to read between the lines. Let's unpack this with psychology, neuroscience, and a swirl of absurdity. Start with psychology. Silence in communication is rarely empty. Studies on interpersonal dynamics show that not responding can signal anything from disinterest to emotional overload. If she reads but doesn't reply, it might mean she's processing. Maybe your message hit a nerve, stirred feelings she's not ready to face, or made her question her interest. Attachment theory suggests an avoidant type might use silence to keep distance, while an anxious type might freeze, overthinking her response. Her silence isn't always rejection. It could be her brain wrestling with what you mean to her, like a chess player stalling before a critical move. Now, let's add neuroscience. When she reads your message, her brain lights up. The prefrontal cortex processes your words, while the nucleus accumbens, the reward center, gauges how much she cares. If she doesn't reply, her amygdala, the emotional gatekeeper, might be spiking cortisol, signaling stress or uncertainty. Maybe she's drawn to you but scared of vulnerability, so silence becomes her shield. Or maybe she's testing you, and her dopamine system is waiting for your next move to confirm you're worth it. Her silence isn't just a void, it's a neural storm, brewing with possibilities you can't see. Let's get game theoretical. Texting is a strategic game, and her silence is a power move. Evolutionary psychology suggests humans use ambiguity to test partners. Will you chase or walk away? By not replying, she's shifting the dynamic, making you invest more to prove your interest. Game theory calls this a costly signal. Her silence forces you to show commitment or reveal if you readjust playing. If you text again, you're cooperating. If you pull back, you're defecting. Her quiet is a bet. Will you fold or raise the stakes? It's not just a non-response, it's a gauntlet. But here is the absurd twist. What if silence is the universe's ultimate love language? Imagine a cosmic rule where words ruin attraction, and only silence sparks desire. Every unanswered text is a love letter, every read receipt a sonnet. X goes viral with digest silent love, as people confess to falling for those who never reply. Dating apps add silence meters, ranking users by how long they leave messages unread. The world's a quiet symphony, where love blooms in the gaps between words, like a rom-com where the climax is a blank chat screen. Scale this up to ridiculous heights. If silence speaks louder than words, society becomes a mute romance novel. Nobody texts back, hoping their quiet reels in crushes. Coffee shops are filled with people staring at phones, waiting for the other to crack. X is flooded with "hantam, silence is sexy," with threads decoding the art of no reply. Economies crash as texting apps go bankrupt, replaced by silence coaches, teaching the power of the pause. The world's a silent disco of unspoken love, where connection happens only when nobody speaks, like a global vow of romantic hush. But chaos theory throws a wrench. If her silence means more, you might misread it, assuming she's into you when she's just busy, or thinking she's done when she's shy. Psychology warns of attribution bias. We project our fears or hopes onto others' actions. Overinterpreting her quiet could lead to obsession or heartbreak, like decoding a blank page as a novel. And if everyone's silent, society stalls. Friendships fade, plans dissolve, and X becomes a desert of silent but sad posts. The emotional toll is heavy. Waiting for her reply feels like holding your breath underwater. Let's add absurdity. What if her silence warps reality? Her unanswered text bends time, trapping you in a loop of overthinking. X explodes with meaning silence glitch, and scientists discover love is a quantum pause, measurable only in unreturned messages. Your flaw of chasing replies? It's gone. You're a sage of silence, reading her quiet like a mystic. Every great romance, Romeo's letters, Gatsby's longing, was just silence misunderstood, sparking passion through absence. You're not just waiting, you're decoding the universe's quietest love song. Now, the dark side. If her silence means more, it could trap you in a guessing game. Studies show ambiguous communication can spike anxiety, leaving you stuck in what-if loops that erode self-esteem. You might chase her quiet too hard, becoming the pursuer in a one-sided dance. If she's manipulating you, using silence to control the dynamic, it's a power imbalance, not love. Society could suffer too. If everyone's silent, trust crumbles, and X turns into a mess of view, ghosted forever, with people craving connection but drowning in unanswered texts. Zoom out to the big picture. If silence carries meaning, relationships shift. Dating becomes a game of pauses, with apps tracking read-receipt ratios like a love metric. Schools teach Silence Interpretation 101, training people to decode quiet without losing their minds. X debates rage over whether silence is love's spark or its snuff. Economies adapt as pause therapists replace dating coaches, and rom-coms pivot to stories of love born from unanswered texts. But chaos theory warns. Too much silence could make us a planet of hermits, yearning for words, but too afraid to break the quiet, like a world where every heart's on mute. So, what's the explosive conclusion? Her silence might mean more than you thought, not because it's a game, but because it's a mirror of her heart. The universe isn't hiding answers. It's asking you to listen differently. Don't flood her with texts or assume the worst. Step back, live your life, and let her silence speak. If it's fear, give her space. If it's a test, show your strength by not chasing. She'll reply or she won't, but the real twist. You don't need her words, you're enough, and her silence can't change that.